Last year I made a lot of money, but I kept very little, and this year I made around the same amount, but I've kept well over 10 times the amount I did last year. And last year I had my business, and I've kept the same business this year, so the main change is mainly just in my behaviors. And you don't need a business to be able to do this. You just need to be able to make a few, to be honest, fairly small changes in your life, or what you do with your money. And the first thing that I realized is you kind of need to mix a bit of that like common advice type of beliefs with the more new money age type of beliefs. And what I'm trying to say is you need to be saving as well as investing some of your money, and at the same time your main focus needs to be on generating more income. For me, it's fairly easy because I have full control over my business and I have full control over the inputs that I do. And if you don't have full control over your income, that's fine. What I would suggest to you is, well, I've made so many videos on this as well, I'll probably put a few cards here too. Main thing is just ask your boss, like, hey, what can I do to get more of a percentage of the revenue or everything I bring in? Or maybe just start something on the side. Just try and focus on having more money coming in, or at least having more control over your inputs and over how much you can bring in. The second thing is kind of the more important part, to be honest, which is saving. And most of my money that's stored is not actually stored, it's not even cash. I mainly focus on buying assets or things that can hold the value of the money itself. So every week when I pay myself through my business, half of that money already just goes straight into these investments. The first one, and kind of the main one, is hard assets like real estate and precious metals. Now granted, I don't have any real estate, but the cash that I am saving, that's primarily meant for when I buy my first home around next year. The next and kind of easier entry is precious metals. So I primarily just buy gold and sometimes silver. That's what I'd recommend to you as well, because the thing is with gold and silver and just kind of any precious metal is that they've been around forever and they're always going to have a use, as well as that they're finite. Unlike cash, which will forever be printed, there's only a certain amount of these before there's no more. So hard assets will always have their value. And the main goal with my metals is literally just to keep it. I have very little plan in selling it in the anytime near future. For me, it's just a safe and secure way of making sure that my money holds its value. My next choice of how I store my money is kind of the complete opposite of hard assets. It's actually crypto and stocks. So stocks are a lot more safer than crypto, but if you know what you're doing with crypto, there's a lot better chance of you actually increasing your money with it. So with stocks, I only buy that which gives me a dividend. That way every month or quarter or however long, I get some money from just owning it. And then the next part of how I buy these is I make sure that it's something that's going to last. Something like, say, oil, or say like technology, like Apple. These things will never go away, so that's what I put my money into, as well as index funds. That way you get the diversity and kind of just government bonds. And with crypto, I just stay away from like coins, and I only buy that which is already proven. Say Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and I think like 2 other smaller coins. That's what I stick to. And outside of that, the rest of my money is a little bit of cash for myself, not including the money I have aside for real estate. And then the rest of that is purely in my business account. So the rest of this money is spent only on producing more money, be it ads, people, or learning, or literally just as kind of a safety net. Because the beauty of having money stored or actually saved is that when a big problem comes, like say the alternator or whatever blows on your car, you don't need to stress like, oh my God, I don't have the money to pay for this. I have to put this on my credit card, blah, blah, blah. You're safe. You could just be like, okay, small problem, but we don't have to worry. We have the money. And the beauty of this is when you can think like that, your brain just will not stress. And when you're not stressed, that's when you just function the smoothest. And if you've been enjoying the video so far, if you could please subscribe, that would literally mean the world to me. Right now, the goal is 1K subscribers. Thank you. So honestly, first thing I tell you to do if you don't have that much money already saved up is to do that first, be it 500 up to like 3K or maybe even 10K, depending on how big your worst expense could possibly be. Just focus on saving that up first and then start investing your money, because your mental clarity is honestly very important, especially when it comes to you making more money. If you're stressing, it's just not gonna help you out. And I know there's some, or maybe even a lot of money gurus that are like, no, don't save your money at all. Especially if you're young, you can spend your money, just do whatever. And I fully disagree with that. That is so stupid. Please do not be like that. That's what I was like last year, and I had nothing to show for all of my success last year. If you have a good amount of money in the bank, you shouldn't be thinking about, oh, how can I spend this? Especially on like some BS momentary or just materialistic things. For me, I spend maybe like 2 or 3 grand of every 10 that I make. The rest is either invested, saved, or spent on making more money. Because in the end, that's kind of what's going to be better for you anyways. And also, one big difference between last year and this year is that this year I've been giving a lot more money away just for charity as well as just donations. Because when you give, you always get back. Whether you believe in God, the universe, or just life itself, whenever you give, it will give you it right back, especially if it's something good. Kind of like karma. So a little bit of an actionable step I want you to do, kind of something good too, is take a bill, whether it's 5, 10, 100, however much, and just go out and give it to someone that has genuinely helped you out loads, be it a family member or a friend, or maybe even just give it to some random person. But just do that. I promise you, you're going to feel a lot better, as well as you're going to make the other person just feel a lot better as well. I promise you, when you give for a non-selfish reason, you will always get that right back. And lastly, I think I kind of already touched on this, but please don't spend your money stupidly. Don't spend it to look cool. Don't spend it to boost your ego. Don't spend it just for consumerism. Just don't do any of that. That's what I did last year. And all of the 50 grand that the business made, I kept literally, I think, less than, I don't even know how much it was, but it was very, very little. And the rest of that period, because my business is seasonal, the rest of that winter, I was just stressed. I was looking for ways to make money. Well, I didn't really make any money over that winter, but it was just a horrible state of mind to be in. Whereas now, my business, it's still seasonal. Now going into the winter, like, I'm just fully like okay now. I don't need to worry about money anymore. I have more than enough, and it just literally helps you out so much mentally as well. I won't talk much more about it because everyone says this, but the reason why everyone says this is because it's true. So please don't spend just to spend. I hope this really helped you out, especially as much as it's helped me out, because this is literally how I went from nothing last year, even though the business made a lot, to this year where the business hasn't grown that much. Like, of course it's grown, otherwise I wouldn't be that good of a business owner. It's still grown, but I've kept way, way, way more of it. Those were the main mistakes that I made, and I'm sure you've probably done some of these or are doing some of these, so hopefully this helps. And also, if you need any more help with this on either making more or saving more or different ways on saving more, feel free to join the Discord community. Like, either ask me or any of the other people in there some questions or for some help, because like me, I'm always happy to help. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching the video, as well as if you want one-on-one help, I started doing that too, so go in there. That's more for business or sales. That's kind of what I do best in. But yeah, go ahead and check those out. And with everything being said, again, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.